Hello guys, this is Keys to the Truth, and on the first part of this video we covered the first two words of this verse or shloka from Yoga Vasishta of Valmiki, also known as the Maha Ramayana. This text is over 12,000 years old and is full of magic, mystical knowledge of creation. Let's go on to that third word, which is Wahri Varchasa, which is the key in this verse, if you ask my opinion. So I will decode this word for you and the amazing implications of what Vasishta is telling us here. All right, so first things first. In the decode of this word, we first need to find out what the different words are being meshed together through what is called sandhi in Sanskritam or Sanskrit. It is a property whereby you meld words together to combine them and give complex meaning, encrypt or encode certain secrets or divine knowledge. So this word, we can decode it as follows. The first word would be Waha and the composition. The second one would be Hri. The third one would be Wahra, which is also Washra. So Vasishta is a poet also, as well as a sage and a saint, and he is playing with the language. So this is next level stuff. He's really going at it, really laying down the law, and it's up to us to raise our intellect and consciousness and see if we can figure it out or not. And the last word is Varchasa. So let's see what each one of these means and what they mean in the total unison synchronicity composition. Hri means heart. It means beauty, birth, carry, convey, lead, attract, captivate, enchant, and many other things as well. I'm not going to go through the entire list of possible meanings as I've done in previous videos. You can validate these on your own on the different resources that I've shared in the past. You can look them up online and see if I am telling you the correct meanings or not for the sake of brevity. So Hri is, if you notice, it's got the H and the R just like the heart, and the I, which is the I am at the end. So a lot of encoding going on here. Heart is also an anagram for earth. And Vasishta is using this word very purposefully. So he knows full well that your heart, as well as mine, as well as that of the earth, is located in the center. So he is talking about something that is beautiful, something that attracts, captivates, births you to life, and carries you through life, which is the seat of your soul, the heart, where you are connected through your divine soul, essence of light, to the cosmos and to the super soul, the supreme super soul consciousness of the supreme being. This next word, Waha, which is actually the previous word as written by Vasishta, I'm going in reverse meaning here, means a current, carrying, a driving, a carrier, a conveyor, a flow, flowing, causing, bearing, a vessel of worship, to lead, to conduct, to transport. So this is very interesting. We have the heart on one side, and then we have a current, something that has to do with the heart and the current, and the transportation as a vessel and as a conveyor, and carrying something within or to and from the heart. So keep your eyes open, please. This is part of why I love decoding Sanskrit and Vasishta and other ancient texts, because it's kind of a game. You have to know a lot of hermeneutics, but what are the correct hermeneutics? I was talking to a friend yesterday about that, and it's all about context. It's all about your general knowledge and field of knowledge and the references that you can make, the connection of the dots. So it's an ability that you have to practice and play around with, and the practice makes perfect. Next up, we have Wahra, which is Washra. Now, Vasishta is not writing Washra per se. He's writing Wahra, to be clear. But he is using poetry, poetic license to convey meaning. Washra means lightning, diamond, hard, child, pupil, column, ceremony, zigzag, cross, impenetrable. So many things that are related. They're always related. So the diamonds are related to lightning because lightning makes diamonds. You use different methods to create diamonds, one being through intense pressure and heat, and one being through plasma. And the plasma is using, what do you think? It's using lightning. It's using electricity. So Vasishta is using the word Vahra here. He's talking about the electromagnetism of the heart. So he is making that abundantly and redundantly clear that he's talking about the electromagnetic heart. Vasishta already used two words meaning magnetic in the previous part of this verse, which were Radna and Kanta, and now he's using Vashra. So he's just used magnetism twice, and now he's using electricity and lightning. So this is all interrelated, and he is giving you a lot of clues into the hidden meanings, the higher meanings, the divine meanings of what he is writing, and the divine teachings that he is conveying to you and I. Next we have Varchasa, which is a light, a luster, a brightness, shine, the color, to color, sacred power. It is also a form of worship. It is the sun, the gander, the glory, vigor, that which invigorates and provides vigor and power, vital power and activity. Now realize what Vasishta is telling us here is that the giant tree of life, the giant antenna at the center of all creation, at the center of the North Pole, is in fact providing the vigor, the radiance, the luminosity, the signal, the radio frequency, the light that is necessary for our hearts to beat. I will say that again in no uncertain terms. Our hearts do not beat autonomously as we have been led to believe. This is a false belief, and it is not ruled in any sort of reality or fact. Our hearts are beating according to and because of and thanks to the Almighty Lord, the Almighty Creator, in the form of the giant antenna. What he's saying is that we are receiving a sort of a carrier wave signal. But he's not using the word wave because Vasishta is much too wise for that. Waves actually do not exist. Signals propagate telepathically, and that is what is happening here. We are receiving a telepathic RF frequency signal and light signal and different types of signals from the tree of life at the center of the North Pole, from the giant antenna that is the giant black mountain of the Rupas Nigra, electromagnetic in nature. And this is a carrier, a conduct that is providing, leading us, birthing us, so that our hearts may beat. They are providing the current. It is the vessel. It is the Vashra, the lightning that is providing the light and the brightness and the vigor, the vitality for our hearts to breathe. This is pretty amazing stuff, and it blew my mind when I read it a few weeks ago and I was decoding it. I couldn't make sense of what it was until the Lord finally revealed it to me. Just realizing that your heart is beating because God wants it to beat, and it will stop beating the moment that God wants it to stop beating for whatever reasons, depending on karma and dharma and your future as a spirit. Your heart, our hearts, all the hearts of all the living beings that have a heart beat depending on and according to the giant tree of life, the giant antenna at the North Pole. Our hearts do not have autonomous heart beating. This is a signal that is coming from there. If you want to get down to the grammar of it and what the sentence is conveying, the meaning that it's conveying, all the words are ending in Tritiya Vibhakti, which is the third tense or the third declension of Sanskrit, which is the instrumental case that is conveying the syntaxis, the syntax, the grammar. For each word, you can see that it is in the singular instrumental case, Varchasa, Tejasa, Antena. So this instrumental case indicates the means or instrument by which something is done, using prepositions like with, by, or through. Agency. This goes back to the meaning. The instrumental case highlights the tool, agent, or manner used to perform an action. if something is written by something, or something is written with a pen or with a pencil or through. Again, goes back to the meaning I've told you. The heart is beating and derives its power and energy with the vehicle, also derives its tejas, which is its shining luster or heat, from the giant antenna at the North Pole. This is completely doubling down, tripling down, in no uncertain terms by Vasishta, and providing us this higher knowledge. How do I back up this incredible claim? That is a challenge, but I have found evidence nonetheless. So the first thing is Vasishta is telling us, flat out, he's telling us this. So that would be the first key to the truth. That would be the first proof that I would offer you, is a sacred ancient text of divine wisdom. Not so much in the spirit of dogma, but more in the spirit of humility. I am an ignorant fool, just like the Psalms say, I am as an ignorant beast, and besides the wise, all-knowing Lord. Please teach me, Lord, and give me your divine knowledge and your divine wisdom. So he's doing that through the divine texts, such as the Bible, such as the Yoga Vasishta. We have to have a spirit of humility, but also a spirit of endeavor and curiosity. The way I approach these texts, it's not like a dogmatic imbecile, but I approach these as intelligence officers. So imagine you're getting an intelligence brief. You were able to discover some sort of secret code or secret communication, and you are trying to fathom what is encoded in that secret communication. So that's what it is. Higher than top secret, above top secret level intelligence that we are receiving by the grace of the divine. Let me show you some more proofs that sustain this point that Vasishta is making.
As we go about our daily lives, we aren't generally aware of the forces generated by solar activity or the Earth's magnetic field. While these planetary changes are well documented, precisely how they affect human beings is less clear. To answer this question, researchers have turned to the autonomic nervous system, the subconscious control system that regulates bodily functions such as breathing and digestion. Their findings suggest that our nervous systems are well attuned to the energetic fluctuations that ripple through our solar system. The work builds on observations made by the famed astronomer Alexander Zhuchevsky during World War I. He noted that battles intensify during peak solar flare periods, and that major human events and behaviours closely follow the cycle of the sun, which led to the hypothesis that some unknown solar forces affect human health and behaviour, providing a provocative link between events occurring in our solar system and life on Earth. To test this hypothesis scientifically, the team looked at how the human nervous system responds to changes in solar and cosmic radiation, as well as in the Earth's magnetic field. They accomplished this by focusing on heart rate variability, an indicator of autonomic nervous system function. This variability was tracked in 16 women, who wore heart rate monitors for 72 hours per week for 5 months. The data were then compared to changes in cosmic rays, as well as geomagnetic and solar activity occurring over the same period. The team found that heart rate variability significantly correlated to variations in 3 key variables: cosmic rays, solar activity, and Schumann resonances. Strikingly, the participants' heart rate variability rose in response to increases in these variables, and the response was quite rapid. These positive correlations suggest that human physiology reacts favourably to these forces, supporting Zhuchevsky's hypothesis that environmental factors can act as energy sources that affect health, mood, and behaviour. Although the full importance of these relationships isn't currently known, the findings suggest that cosmic and solar energy don't just change Earth's magnetic field, they also affect human physiology. The work also poses the intriguing suggestion that some aspects of these energies might subconsciously connect human beings.
This tiny heart is about to beat for the very first time. In this moment, a cluster of developing cells begins a rhythmic pulse that will last a lifetime. But why now? What triggers the heart to start beating at this precise moment? And how do all the cells start to contract in synchrony? For each heart, there's only one chance to catch that very first beat, so scientists have been using microscopes, fluorescent proteins, arrays of zebrafish embryos, and a lot of patience to explore this pivotal moment. These are zebrafish embryos, each less than 1 millimetre long. Their hearts start beating only 20 hours after fertilisation, well before the growing organism actually needs its heart functions. To visualise the heartbeats, the researchers used fluorescent proteins which glow in response to their surroundings. Here, the pink fluorescent proteins represent a voltage spike, which causes...
Wow, this is super interesting to me because it looks just like the northern lights, the aurora borealis, which is also made up of calcium ions as well as copper ions, which are crystals, which are charged crystals. You can check out my video on what the aurora borealis is.
A spike of calcium ions, seen here in green, and it's this calcium spike which causes the cells to contract. In the adult fish, the beating of the heart is controlled by a pacemaker region, a group of cells which control the speed of contractions in the rest of the organ. But for the first heartbeats, the researchers found no clear pacemakers. Different embryos had different cells that started beating first, and they triggered the cells around them in a wave-like pattern. In this experiment, the cells in the bottom left of this image start the pulse, which travels across the heart. But when researchers silenced those cells, this region of cells takes over as the starting point of each pulse. So what starts the process? What kicks off the chain reaction?
Man, that sure is a great question. That is a very profound question. That is an analytical, spiritual question, transcendental question. What makes the human heart start beating? Or the heart of any living creature? What makes it start beating? Does it start beating on its own? Do things do themselves on their own? Do your chores get done on their own? Does your house clean itself? There are so many things around us that we can just open our eyes and see. Nothing gets done on its own. I'm going to repeat that again, as ridiculous as it is. There is no thing that gets done on its own. This is a contradiction in logic and a contradiction in empirical evidence of our everyday lives and what we've seen throughout our lives. There is not one thing that gets done on its own. Does your car start on its own? No, you have to start it. Does your water faucet start on its own? No, you have to start it. Does your AC start on its own? Well, maybe it has a timer. You can put a timer on a car too. You can put a timer on anything. You can put a thermostat on anything. You can put a cycle on anything. That doesn't mean it's getting done on its own. Did your phone, did your computer make itself? Does it get started on its own? No, you have to push a button. You have to start it with a battery. Things need an agent. And that is by design. That is the Creator telling us something to our ears and to our eyes. Things need an agent, period. If you can't understand how the mechanism works, then that's a different thing. For example, AC, it's a very good example because nowadays it turns on its own, quote unquote. It's not really turning on its own. It's somebody programmed. It has a thermostat and it has auto-regulating mechanism, but it still needs an agent that designs it and gives it an input. It gave it the input maybe the first time, and thereafter the inputs get repeated, quote unquote, automatically, but at the beginning it had to give it the settings. The same thing goes for everything. If you were raised in remote island, never were exposed to technology, but you might not understand the mechanics, the same thing goes for us. We see the sun, we see the moon, we think these things happen on their own. We see the wind, we see the seasons, we think these things happen on their own. It's just we don't have the capacity, we don't have the understanding, we haven't been exposed to the mechanisms. And this is what this channel is about. Basically, I'm exposing a lot of these mechanisms to you so that you can go past the fake science, delusion, and the lies, and you can understand this world better. Going back to the heart doesn't start beating on its own. The heart is an antenna and it's receiving a signal from the giant antenna at the North Pole. And that's what starts the beating heart. And that's what keeps the heart beating. As a matter of fact, radio waves are measured in hertz. Hertz means heart in German, for crying out loud. So they're telling it flat out in your face that the heart is beating due to the radio frequency signals. And they're measured in hertz, which is heart in German. Hertz.
The answer is perhaps nothing in particular.
Nothing in particular? Nothing in particular? Are you kidding me? Give me a break. So I'm supposed to just drink the Kool-Aid. I'm just supposed to believe this, take it at face value because some sexy British accent is telling me that. You see, if you're looking for entertainment only, you're gonna have these lies shoved down your throat. You're asking for it. You're telling the devil, feed me. You're telling the devil, I want to be entertained. So you're entertained and you're gonna be deluded and you're selling your soul for it because you're not opening your eyes to the truth of the Creator. And then you wonder why your life's so miserable. I'm sorry if I'm saying these things, but the idea here is that the truth shall set you free. And that those are the words of Christ himself, the Creator Almighty. The truth shall set you free. Keys to the truth. Why do I need to know this? All this. I don't care to know all this. Well, open your eyes and wake up because your miserableness is your own doing. Take reins, take control of your own life and your own destiny. Starting to walk in the light of truth. Shut out the lies. So what is scientific about, well, maybe there's no reason for the heart to start beating. Perhaps nothing in particular. Oh my gosh. How can we be so ignorant? These elites take advantage of us being so ignorant and they use this fake science. So what is scientific about? Perhaps nothing in particular. There is nothing. There is no proof of that. There is no analysis. There is no analytical evidence. Nothing in particular. It just happens on its own. You see how they're just pulling a rabbit out of a hat? They're not giving you an answer, and you're telling it to just take that at face value and shove it.